That's a good idea, Cellulite Yoga Pants. Hello, 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 everybody. Chris with the fur. Thank you for becoming a member. Don't worry, we're not watching these guys again, but we're going to do the next video in the next one in the series. Now here, okay, phone, you're gonna need to be silenced. Thanks so much. I do want to talk a little bit about dinner before we get started. I would love it if you would tell me what you had for dinner. If you didn't like what you had for dinner, tell me what you wish you had for dinner. I'm gonna show you. Don't fucking freeze on me, computer. Just stop it. Just behave. I'm gonna show you my what I made for dinner. I went looking for a box of hamburger helper. I had a pound of hamburger, and I thought that would be the easiest thing to do. Since I don't have any tortillas, I would have had to make tortillas, and it snowed here last night. And so I was a little bit at a loss of what to do when I could not find the proverbial always there box of hamburger helper that should be in your cupboard. So I quickly looked it up and I thought, I think I could make that. And I did in under 25 minutes. I made from scratch hamburger helper. It looks a little bit red. It's very delicious. I don't normally eat before, like I'll cook early because miscarriage. That's hilarious. I cook early because that way nobody complains to me while I'm live about where their dinner is. But I had a few bites before I started, and I went back and filled my plate up with more. So, homemade hamburger helper, really delicious, super duper easy. And I mean, I don't know that I would need to buy hamburger helper ever again. I guess the cheese, like if you didn't have cheese, I did have to put in some cheddar cheese, but really, I mean, at first I was gonna steal a package of cheese from a thing of Kraft Dinner. You guys know what I mean when I say Kraft Dinner? Yeah? You understand that? Hi, I mean. Um Macaroni and cheese Kraft Dinner is what I mean. We call it you don't know what I mean? It's called KD here. Literally, we call it I would say, "Do you want some KD?" Because we would call it Kraft Dinner. You don't know Hamburger Helper either? Hold on. Come on. That's not Canadian. That's American. Hamburger Helper is American, right? You're freaking me out now, Courtney. I'm like, because like the hand, you know, um, Kraft, Kraft is the company. Is Kraft Dinner, KD mac and cheese. I think that in Canada, it's just become ubiquitous to call it Kraft Dinner as opposed to mac and cheese. It is the same as far as I can tell. But again, like I said, we would call it KD or mac and cheese. I don't know. Yeah, probably as in Kraft, as in the orange cheese. I'll go get a box. We're gonna get started watching this. Oh my God, you guys are trolling me now. You are trolling me now. I'm gonna go get a box of KD and bring it in here to show y'all. Um, I think I'm gonna remove this. It's bothering me. Um, he owns the Kraft cheese too, I think. Anyways, what we're watching is the few more of these TPO hearings from the other day. So please enjoy that. While I go get you a box of KD to show you what that is. Uh, and shovel another few spoonfuls of my homemade hamburger helper into my mouth. Hi, Chris Engelby. Courtney, you would like this hamburger helper recipe? No cream, no milk, no sort of creaminess in it. It was so easy. It was basically okay, I'll go over the hamburger helper recipe first. You do brown the ground beef, put in garlic powder, half an onion, 2 heaping tablespoons of tomato paste, 3 cups of beef broth, and a cup of macaroni, salt and pepper, and that's it. That's done. That's all. Oh, and cheese, and 2 cups of cheddar cheese if you've got it. Let's get going on this, shall
Why?
Yeah, I mean, that's up to Mr. Eden.
And
we? So you
floodline?
I don't even want to listen to these fuckers again. I'm fast forwarding them.
You're free to leave. The parties are free to leave the Zoom call. You're free to leave. Email copies of the orders will be emailed to all parties.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And that's it for today. And if you perceive that, before I go, I'm going to say this. If either party perceives these orders to be violated in any way, you can report that to the police. That can be referred to the prosecutor's office and they can figure out where to go from there. And you're free to go there, Ms. Pardee.
Thank you.
Ms. Webb.
Yes, I'm right here. Here.
And then Mr. and Ms. Amons. Ms. Amons can come on up and take a seat.
Okay, apparently the package doesn't even say macaroni and cheese. Oh, it does say it tiny.
Give me just a moment. So Ms. Webb, could you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Before we do that, you're Amanda Amons.
Yes, sir.
Is there
Okay, before we get going on that, let's talk about this. First of all, this is the package. Like I told you, it's called KD or Craft Dinner. Um, Craft Dinner Haiti original, and this one is prepared in Canada. And then at the bottom here, tiny, 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 it says macaroni and cheese. But this is our craft dinner. This is macaroni and cheese. This is like, what do you guys call it? You just call it mac and cheese, or no, this is not generic. No, no. Please note. This is this is not generic. This is the brand. This is very much, you cannot buy the generic version of this. It's not the same because you couldn't call it KD. You couldn't say, "Oh, do you want KD?" and then pull out a generic box. No, you cannot do that. Um, it's made by Kraft Heinz Canada, craftcanada.com. Ooh, they have a 1-800 number here. I should call that one day. Talk to them about it. Um, But you know the brand that I'm talking about, right? Kraft. Kraft macaroni and cheese. It says like this is the brand, Kraft. It's that Kraft. I know they don't say it on the front, but that's the Kraft we're talking about. But branded in Canada, very much so. I'm joking. It was expired. That's so funny. So funny. Great. Well, that never stopped anybody before. So choppy. I don't have anything else playing. I'll reset my mic while I let this play, and then we'll go for here.
Steve Amon's here?
Yeah, that's my husband.
Yeah, you come up too. Both votes. You're both listed. So, ma'am, you've been sworn in.
Yes.
How is it that you need an order against?
Even working now? Is my audio even around? Is it still choppy? As if I'm in another country? Or is it better? Sorry to anybody using headphones, I apologize. I will just say Kraft Dinner for the win. KD mac and cheese for the win. If somebody wants to send me more macaroni and cheese, I'm not in Discord, send me some boxes to try. I'd love to try all the different macaroni and cheese from all over the world. That could be fun.
The Amons?
Well, I'm requesting it for a more permanent order, actually. I have let her bully me over 2 years now.
You have what
And
now?
I have problems talking now because of my disability. So please bear with me. What did you ask me a question?
Yes. Why do you need an order against the Amons?
Because she is a bully and he is as well.
Well, again,
Please help me.
what's going on? And so who's seated to your, someone's on off camera there to your left. Who is that?
Yes, my caregiver.
Fucking caregiver day in this court, hey? Somebody ask where I am. Oh, hold on. I'll scroll up. I missed that. We haven't had Katie in a few years. What province? Oh yeah. No, I'm in British Columbia on Vancouver Island. I'm a BC girl, and Katie, even expired craft dinner, I think is pretty good.
Okay. Well, what have they been doing that needs you need an order against them?
Okay, well, Amanda, she goes around and she curses at me, but pretty abusively. She follows me up in the elevator or in the lobby or in the mailroom, and she stands there and she makes her presence known.
What did she say anything to you or what exactly?
Yes, except not lately in the mailroom. That just happened. She didn't say anything to me. But yes,
she doesn't
does.
say anything to you?
Yes, she calls me names. She says all kinds of things to me.
Okay. Do you live in the same building?
Or I don't want to repeat how the cuss words. She basically, she takes my picture, she videotapes me, and she calls me a effing retard. she pushes her walker like she was gonna go hit me, but she doesn't. She follows me outside wherever I go until I get to where my friends are out there, and then she doesn't follow me anymore. Um, it's been very hard for me to deal with her. The thing is that she lives on the fourth floor, and I sort of live on the second floor.
Sorta? What is going on here? Also, I apologize for eating in front of you, but this is really yummy and I'm eating it. It's the way it is.
And we have the same elevator. So, like, if I want to go into the elevator, she'll say, "You're not going into this elevator." She basically just tells me that, I can't, what I can do, what I can't do. And the last incident was I was walking into the elevator. She was coming out of the elevator. I waited for her to come out, and she looked at me and she said, "F you," really loud in my face. And I said, "Excuse me?" That's all I said. Next thing you know, she's at the office telling them her lies or whatever she says, because I don't know. But I didn't go to the office. And next thing you know, the office gives me a call and says that she's sitting out notices to both of us and for harassing. I can't take a person doing this to me for as long as I have. The management has changed. The older management took care of it, and I never received a notice. And whatever she would say to Amanda at that time, it worked for a little while, and then she'd go back to being Amanda. Steve, on the other hand, real quickly, he come out and told it was Gail, myself, and Renee, all residents here at the reserve. And he comes out and he was cussing. He said, "I am going to kill anybody that causes my wife to have a heart attack." And we're looking at him going, "We don't know what you've been told." I didn't say much except, "No, Steve." I said, "Stop." But he wanted to punch Renee out. It was really, really a bad scene. Renee has heart troubles, and of course, she's not part of this, but that's why I put a restraining order on Steve. He doesn't come around me. I will say that, but I don't know what Amanda does tell her husband,
So
but
you
it's
only
pretty
want to,
scary on my end.
you're only asking for an order against Amanda?
What?
You're asking for an order for both.
But for both.
But I thought I heard you say Steve doesn't come around you.
No, but he doesn't. But then if something happens, like she says something to him, then he comes full barrels, and he
Oh, so he
says
does do things to you.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes. What?
Okay.
Are you having trouble?
I'm having trouble hearing. Yes.
Okay, so ma'am, I'm going to need her to testify. If you want to testify again, the woman in the red shirt, zoom back out a little bit there. I mean, I know she's there.
Uh,
Are you talking about me, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So, I mean, I need her to answer. I don't need you to tell her what to say.
okay.
So I'm going to hear from the Amons. Is it Amons or Ammons?
Ammons.
Amons. And then, so I guess Amanda Amons, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
What's your response to what I just heard from Ms. Forbes Webb there?
Okay, well, what Tina's claiming is actually what she had been doing to me when I'm there at the reserve. When the other manager left, they started playing these little children games when I would come in from the day or leave for the night. When the elevator would open on their floor, they would do childish things like this. No, 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 and then make animal sounds towards me. My car was parked.
I'm sorry. Make animal sounds? Chris, we're doing good. I've finished my plate of food. I feel a bit like a pig, but What animal sounds were they making? I have questions. Presto. Um, this is nutty. Is there like social workers or adult protective services involved in these people? Like, shouldn't they be taking care of that?
Out front in the front parking lot, and it got to the point, Your Honor, I had to move my car to the back parking lot so I could use the back doors. Because just trying to get from my car to inside the building, they would have friends yelling out, the whole group of them, Carla, Tina, and all of them, yelling out animal sounds and saying Amanda, duh, 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 duh. And I went to the manager that was there before, the Leah.
So are you the
Amanda, duh, 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 duh. Amanda, duh, 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 duh. I'm sorry, that's terribly not funny at all. And not funny at all. Oh my gosh. Is that illegal though?
manager now, or are you just another resident there?
Pardon me?
Are you the manager?
No, no, sir.
So you're both just residents there?
Right, right. So anyways, these guys have been actually harassing me only when I'm coming and leaving the building. I have
Who
a
are these
statement-
guys?
Tina, Carla, the four women that all stick together and smoke together out in the front of the building. They harass other people there too. I've got statements right here that I wasn't able to submit. I also have a statement from my church and my family showing I wasn't even there through the whole summer or the holidays. So according to Tina's statement, this is done on a daily basis. And that discredits what her statement says, because according to this, I've been with my family the other side of Lacey and in Lakewood through the whole summer. I get there about 8, 9 in the morning. I don't come home till 6, Your Honor. And then I spent the holidays in Lakewood. So a lot of their statements are not
How
fact.
close do you folks live to each other?
Pardon me?
How close do you live to her?
She lives on the 2nd floor. I live on the 4th floor, but she's come up to my floor, this elevator incident she's talking about, and stood right in front of my elevator and just stares at me. This woman's almost 6 feet tall and she stands up straight. And I'm only 4'11" and a half. I have heart issues. I just had surgery and was in the hospital for a week. I have 22 stitches and staples still in my groin, Your Honor. And she is the one who has threatened to me. And she has a big size poodle that in the past has jumped on me. It's a very nice dog, actually, but she has no control over that dog.
All right.
And as of the witnesses' statements, these two shaded ones are from a year ago because they're in my file. So these are not recent incidents that have happened. I wrote.
How long have you lived there?
I went, pardon me?
How long have you lived at this place?
Going on 4 years.
How long has she lived there?
I do not know.
Was she there when you got there?
Yes, she was there.
Did you get along at first and now
Yeah,
don't?
actually, we were all friends, and then I started noticing how they demean people coming out of their cars, or how the way that person parks. Look at Nancy up on the back patio, Fat Nancy. There's another Nancy who's a big woman. These women instigate like children, like they have nothing else to do. I have gone to my counselor, been put on medication for anxiety. I have reported to the manager many times. Every time there's an incident, I have reported it to her. She told me to go get a restraining order. They just happened to beat me to it. I got medical stuff going on in my life, Your Honor. I don't need this crap either. I'm sorry for my language.
I've heard worse.
I've heard worse today, he says, after the lady earlier said fucking cunt in front of her kid. Is this a gang? Presto asks. That's a good question. Lisa B, late fee. Sorry, you're baked. Don't apologize for that. Reminding me to light up the joint in front of me. Thank you for doing that, Lisa B.
This morning.
Yeah, it's just been an ongoing thing, but this statement right here proves that I wasn't even
Who's
around
that
all
statement
summer.
from?
So
Who is that from, ma'am?
this is from my church and my family showing that I was with them in Lakewood and with them through the summer.
So Mr. Amons, will you raise your right hand, please?
Yes, sir.
Do you swear to affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can put your hand down. You can sit down.
Oh,
What's your position of all of this?
Doggy style. I really like doggy style. I think that's mostly just because my uterus, but I really prefer that.
The same, it's an ongoing, it's what they're saying that Amanda does is what they do. It's basically, there's 7 to 10, maybe 12 at a time that sit out front in a line and basically do gestures and language and everything else. And I haven't, 8 months, maybe a year, I haven't had any contact with Ms. Webb. Or any of them.
So Ms. Forbes Webb, I'm going to come back to you.
Yes.
You have a response to what I just heard and what I assume you just heard.
Yes, I kind of expected it. She lies about lying, and it's kind of, this whole thing is kind of a mess because I raised my hand to you to took an oath to tell the
Yeah,
truth.
so did they.
And I don't understand what's happening here as far as she's a little bit, I thought she had mental issues, so I didn't try to push. But now I can't do this. She's lied about everything, except I do have a black poodle that she wants to kill because she said that if he jumps on her, if he jumps, oh, I'm sorry, did I interrupt you?
No, ma'am. What did you just fucking say? What is happening at this seniors housing facility? What is happening? The judge's face too. Look at his face. He looks horrified. He's as a. Oh, you have to remember, right? Oh my god, it's making me. Oh, it's making me. It's so funny.
If my poodle jumps on her, it will loosen her stents. Also, we've never been friends, not once, never. I just want to live where I live and be.
That bitch was never my fucking friend, Judge. Listen, lady, you're sounding nasty. This is fucking weird. This is weird. This is such a waste of money. Just think of how much money this is costing the state.
Be content and not have to worry about getting on the elevator or going into the lobby or getting my mail out of the mailroom. I can't take this.
Your Honor, may I speak?
In a minute.
Okay.
Well, you can testify, right?
Cripples versus blood thinners. Cripples versus. It's not gang signs, it's arthritis. Oh my god. On fucking fire. Also, I have an interior piece like that, the shirtless dad, but mine is like leaves. I will not go get it to show it because I will get in trouble for taking it off of the wall. I often do get in trouble for taking things off the wall to show people on the internet. And yeah, so I'm not going to do that. But just know that I also have a wall piece almost the exact same as that. Just leaves at the end of the little branches instead of the whatever those are. And it's that size and it's metal and it's on my fucking wall. I swear to God.
Give me just a minute. Go ahead, sir.
This order came after my wife had went and made a complaint at the office about Tina. And it seems like a few days later, a week later, we get the restraining order after she had made a written statement to the office.
What was it? What was the content of that statement?
Harassment.
And I called the police, Your Honor,
Yeah, we
also.
did call the police.
So her statement saying my husband threatened her if we called the police, that's so untrue. We're the ones who called the police and Officer Bell responded to us.
Ms.
Oh, please, please, no, shirtless dad, that I also don't spend money on home interior. That's the fucking last thing I'm gonna spend money on. But I'm very good at acquiring things. In fact, another thing I have to resist pulling out right now is oh, did you see my face there? Because I was like, there's a metal like kitchen pot hanging rack that I got when a restaurant was closing down. I commented on it. I was like, wow, what are you going to do with all the fixtures in the restaurant? And they're like, oh, we're just getting rid of them. And I was like, really? What about that one? And they're like, yeah, we're just getting rid of that. And I was like, can I have it? And they said yes.
Forbes Webb, what say you to that? They said they called the police about you. Is that true
Yeah,
or not?
they didn't call the police on me. I've seen no police. Nothing.
Yeah, why did they do that?
Sorry?
Why did they call the police on you?
I wouldn't know because I didn't have the police called on me. I
The
didn't see a
police
police officer.
They're telling me the police didn't respond. Is that correct?
Right, Officer Bell said it just sounds like you got a crappy neighbor. And if any
Neighbors that
altercation,
didn't get along,
or
and he
physical
said that
altercation.
our statement is in the dispatch, the cat, if the judge wanted to hear it, but he didn't see any reason to write
I see.
a statement and get a number for it. We
Got
had.
it.
Here, so are you? Please
So your
indicate.
caregiver to your left there, ma'am, does she live there in the building also, or is she?
She does, Your Honor. But she also has witnessed quite a few things and knows Amanda better than I think. I don't know.
So how long have you lived there in this building, ma'am?
Me or
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Me. Oh, I have lived here. I'm going to be going on my third year in February. This
Right.
place has only been open for 3 years.
And so, well, they just told me you guys have lived here for 4 years. Was you there when it opened?
just after it opened, and we're
Yeah.
due in February to renew our lease if
Oh, well, April.
April.
The manager said it would determine the outcome of this, whether they're gonna renew with us, and I think that's a lot of this. These women are just trying to get us evicted because they don't care for us. But like I said, Your Honor, I've got statements from my church and my family showing I haven't even been there for 8 months, 6 months, except to come home and leave in the morning.
All right, Ms. Forbes Webb, let me come to you. Go ahead, I'll hear from you. And when did this all come out of the blue or what?
No,
Chris, what did you try? Oh, you tried to give Miss Carrie points. I see. Um, Mayor, hi. I hope you're doing well back at work. This sounds like a West Coast version of the Villages where everybody is angry. Like nobody's fucking, everybody's mucking. I don't know. Like it's just ugh.
A
She's
lot of it
been,
doesn't make that much sense to me.
sorry, I didn't hear what you said. What?
Said a lot of it does not make much sense to me.
No, it doesn't. Myself as well, I don't understand why she finds me this interesting. But I will tell you that I am not the only one. There are many people here in the building that don't go outside and smoke that have problems with her. Actually, my friend has a temporary restraining order as we speak. She just is a bully. I don't know why she's a bully, but she is a bully. And when you have health problems, I'm in palliative care, you have health problems, it makes it a lot worse when somebody upsets you. And I, I, I will say she was accurate about just a few months. A few months, she was leaving in the morning, coming back in the evening. And that was nice because there was no problem with her attacking anyone here at the reserve. She's a frequent flyer, as the management said. I don't know what they mean really by that, but I'm assuming she's at the office every day. I'm not a complainer in general, but I will tell you that since you put a temporary on her, it's been so relieving to me to know that she can't talk to me, she can't approach me. And this is that I have to say it has brought a lot of de-stressing on my part. And I thank you for that.
All right.
And that was an temporary order for 10 feet.
Right.
Yeah, because Your Honor, may I speak?
Not just yet.
No, okay.
Go ahead, ma'am. You wanted to say something?
I have health problems also. Open
What
heart
sort of
surgery.
facility is this?
Pardon me?
What sort of living establishment is this?
It's a 55 and older, but there are people in there that have care providers or
Right.
they do physical.
Oh my God, I laughed out loud. I was the judge is like, what the fuck kind of place is this? Ah.
Therapy, and it just depends on their own, what's going on in their own area. I do bingo on Friday.
It can't get any better. Can it get better? I went and got more food, but I'm not gonna eat it now. But I'll eat it later. Seriously, is this crazy? Yeah, they should be giving out sex toys as the prizes at this bingo hall. Oh, my neck's fucked and I put some cream on it. That should probably help very soon. It's snowing outside, by the way, guys, in my part of town, which is scary for me because it doesn't really snow here. So, that's not ideal.
I go to church every Sunday, Bible study on Wednesdays, Your Honor. I also, some statements I have here from other residents. I help elderly bring in their groceries when I'm there. I have a whole list of phone calls of elderly residents that call me when they need help or something, and I have to be careful what I do because I can't lift over 5 pounds. I have a fem to fem. I have an in-order aneurysm. So me bumping into her and doing this is just outrageous. I mean, she is really fibbing about all this. She really is.
Do you really what?
She's fibbing about me supposedly being a bully, running.
She's fibbing. I actually get the vibe that this lady is a fucking Karen. The bottom lady is Karen. Look at how they rile each other up, all these ladies. This is not how to behave in court. They're being over the top. Sort of like Miss Donna, but I love the Miss Donna is. Love it. Thank you, Donna. Miss Landra Chiquita. Matt Queen, come be a queen with us. Gosh. Hey, listen, I'm working on a special project. I can't even talk about it. Can't even talk about it. Just know I'm working on something for us that's going to be long lasting and fun for us to play at home anytime. It's going to be great. Anyways, okay. I'm not almost done each and everything. Thank you for your email the other day. I love that, by the way. I saw that just today because I'm lackadaisical about checking my email. Presto, also, you mentioned about the weather. Come and pick it up. If you pay for my flight, I will be in Georgia tomorrow.
And into her, this is actually what she was doing to me. And that's why I was going to the manager and complaining. Finally, when the manager gave her a write-up, as me as well, for her to stay away from me,
Right.
for her not to come near me, and everything. And like I said, it got to the point I had to move my car from the front of the building where the mini mall is and McDonald's, forcing me not even to go out front out there to the back. So I don't see him. I don't
Okay, so
associate
hang on
with
just a second. Ma'am, did you get a write-up from the manager?
We
Ms.
both did.
Forbath?
And the manager actually said, well, this will help you with your restraining order, because I was getting a restraining order before this. So after she gave me the notice, I went in, and of course, I got the temporary. I went in and talked to her. Her name was Carrie, and I asked her, how is it?
Oh, I hate her little fake question period here. I don't really like it. Um, Dana, I'm sorry to hear about your knitting mishap. I actually know how to knit as well, something else I taught myself in a weird time of my life, younger. But these people, this is ridiculous. These people need to fucking stop like, do you know how few of my neighbors I know? Even I've lived in apartment buildings. Okay. You don't have to talk to anybody. There's certainly ways that you can get through in and out of an apartment without seeing other people. It's odd to me that there's so much interaction. I'm fucking, I'm perplexed. And do any of these people have grandchildren? Can you imagine if your grandma started explaining to you how they are in court on a TPO about their neighbor? Could you imagine? Just imagine that for 1 second. Like if Nana was like, "Oh, Paisley, I have to go to court," and be like, "What? What for, Nana? What are you talking about?" Like it doesn't even make any sense. I can't even do it. Oh my God.
That this is supposed to help me with the restraining order? She goes, oh, I don't know. I thought you guys would patch it up. I go, she's been bothering me for 2 years. And she nodded
What did the write-up say?
stay away from each other. Sorry.
Thank you. Yes, stay away. Don't approach.
All
Look
right.
the other way. Go the other
All right.
way.
So here's what's going to happen today. Both of you, all three of you, or all four of you, I guess. There's kind of a ghost witness off camera there. You all seem like nice people to me. For whatever reason, something happened where you can't really get along. You have said you've been indicated from the manager that you should stay away from them, and them probably the same. You've also told me that since this temporary order was in place, things have been fine. But ma'am and Ms. Forbes-Webb, I'm going to speak to you specifically. When you're the petitioner and you come to the court, you kind of bear a burden of proof to show by a preponderance of the evidence that it's more likely than not. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. based on what I've heard, both from you and from Ms. Amons and Mr. Amons, at this point, I'm unable to find by a preponderance of the evidence that harassment activity has occurred. Sounds like things have gotten better since the temporary order is going to stay today. Sounds like you both have been engaged in a course of conduct, at least over the past, well, whenever that temporary was ordered. I would just encourage you both to keep that up and stay away from each other. And if any additional problems arise, you can come back. But for the moment, I'm not going to enter an order. Does that make sense, Ms. Forsweb? Do you understand all that?
He denied it. You can ask him why.
I'm not too sure how I'm talking to here. I think the woman in red there kind of understood what I was saying. And
Yeah. You're denying the order.
Is Judge talking about me, Chris Engelby? Thank you so much. Gifting memberships. Yay! Thank you so much. Is he just called her the lady in red? And I was like, me? Me, Judge? Are you talking about me? Are you talking about me, Judge? Are you?
I'm not too sure how I'm talking to here. I think the woman in red there kind of understood what I was saying. And
Yeah. You're denying the order.
right, at this time, yes. With leave to bring it back if additional problems arise. But based on everything I've heard, I think I can rely on all of you to keep a distance from each other.
Ooh. Yeah, I know. Okay, well, you said we can come back, so
This testimony from other folks in the place would help. I hear you say, well, that.
I do
Right.
have.
Let me finish, man. And again, I have no idea how many people I'm talking to.
Witnesses here.
I can see-
I do have witnesses here. Well, tell me.
Okay, well, never mind. This is cool.
All right.
So again, that's going to be it for today. And then a copy of this will get emailed to you, both of you,
Thank you.
and you're free to leave.
Thank
You're
you.
free to leave Forbes Web. Not at this time.
I was gonna say you get the patience of me.
And then everybody, let's be on your best behavior out.
Oh my God. MB, you're so welcome. Thank you for all your support. I'm happy to be here, able to make you laugh. Listen to what this dude just said. We gotta listen really carefully. I think he just said he has the patience of a saint or something like that. Listen to this. Listen carefully. Also, thank you, MB. Let's wait till Streamlabs catches up. Yes, I'm eating another plate of it. I'm a fat ass. I don't care. It's snowing outside. It feels like my body's like, you should eat. You should eat. Yay! Listen to the dude on screen.
Not at this time.
I was gonna say you get the patience of me.
And then everybody, let's be on your best behavior out there, everybody. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Mr., is it Nicolich? Am I saying that? Nicolich?
Yeah.
Nipple lip? I thought you said nipple lip. Fuck. That's delicious. Okay. Apparently, even better when stoned. More stoned. I was already stoned, but. Or maybe it's just better after it's sat for a little while. Is that possible? I think it is. That's a banging plate of food. Really.
Anna, when this table clears, you can sit at that table.
This is my homemade hamburger helper. We talked about it earlier.
So how is it you need an order from against Ms. Davis and Mr. French?
It's just the opposite, Mr. Davis and Miss
Have
French.
a good day, Your Honor.
Thank you. You folks too? Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Mr. Davis and Ms. French.
Uh,
So give me just a minute here.
Yeah,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
need to call your case up here.
Okay. If I was to picture, which I can't, but you know what I mean. If I was to imagine Miss French, that ain't who I fucking would imagine. And look at her chewing the gum. It's so obnoxious. But here's the thing. I also chew gum like that. I had an ex-boyfriend who told me that I look like a cow chewing cud when I chewed gum. And it's not when I'm like, I would never do it in court, but when I get doing something and I don't realize, like, and I'm focused, I get into a chewing fucking, it's not good. I just don't chew gum around other people because of that. It's so fucking bad. Um, Actually, eating on camera makes me a lot more, I don't know, cognizant of eating. Jonathan Miller, here's the thing. I couldn't find the box of hamburger helper. I had to make this one from scratch. It's actually delicious and was super duper easy. Chris with the fur. Thank you so much for coming back. I'm just glad you're here, dude. Um, Lots to catch up on. Lots to catch up on. We'll have lots of fun. Don't you worry. Still doing it here live every single day, baby. Um, unlike other places, it's okay. Um, Hamburger helper keeps your family alive. I get it. I was looking for the hamburger helper and I realized, oh my God, I got the freaking hamburger. I don't have the helper. I'm gonna have to help myself. We've already talked about it earlier. I did. It's delicious. I'm very happy with it. Crunchy, not creamy peanut butter, Jonathan? Okay. So I'll just say I was never a student other than a high school student or like a school student, but I Yay! I was a young mother and a picky eater myself. So saltine crackers and peanut butter was a staple for me. Also, I can fucking down a loaf of bread. Easy. Loaf of white bread, toasted. Oh yeah. Dangerous. You have to be careful. But then again, if you're, fed is best. That's what we say. Chris, thank you so much. Welcome back. Guys, make sure that you like the video. I really appreciate that. It's super helpful for the channel. Let's see what Miss French. Oh, baguette. See, baguette is $1. It's cheap. Super cheap. Um, I'm gonna hear some flack. They're getting ready to eat this food, and I was hearing sighs and flack already. I'm Miss Cole. Nice to see you. Your mom was a single mom. You did popcorn and mac and cheese a lot. Listen, we were just talking about what we call craft dinner here. Popcorn is another thing that I always now have. It's just, you know, you know, you gotta save money where you can. Like yesterday, I went to the store to buy chicken breast, and a full chicken was the same price as two chicken breasts. So of course I bought the full chicken. Then I made chicken stock last night, which well, that's probably why it tastes so good. Because I used the homemade chicken stock to make the mac and cheese. Or not the mac and cheese, the hamburger helper. I'm getting all mixed up. Okay, let me go hear their review and let's keep watching.
Um, Go ahead. First, you can start with Mr. Davis and then, did I get that right? And then Ms. French. What's this all about?
Okay, it all stems from the same incident, so I'm just gonna try to just recite the incident to you so you don't have to keep going through it.
That's all right.
I've been with my wife Valerie for 8 years, going on 9 years now. This is her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend. There
Is
has
that
been,
you, ma'am, back there?
that's Valerie.
You can come on up
Come on
if you
up,
want to.
Uh, like I said, I've been with Valerie for 8 years, and in the beginning, things were not as bad, but this has been an ongoing situation of her and her daughter specifically not getting along very well. A lot of money issues are going on, but let's just get to this incident. We haven't been getting along well for several months, and
I will share the recipe. How much broth? It was so I did 4 cups of broth and 1.5 cups of macaroni. But the recipe calls for 3 cups of broth and 1 cup of macaroni. Um, I walked in there just in time. He was pouring a bowl of cereal. Evidently forgot when I woke him up and told him that dinner was on the fucking stove. Uh,
they called, Ashley called and asked if they could come up and get the presents we had for the girls. Valerie told her separately from me. I said, no, this isn't a good time. Valerie took a fall. She's injured. She doesn't really want company right now. We'll set up a time to meet you guys after Christmas. We don't want you guys coming to our house, and we don't want to go to your house because we feel there could be problems. December 26th, I got a knock on the door. I went to the door. It was dark. It was hard to see very well, but Ashley was at the door. I opened the door. I said, Ashley, you didn't call. We don't want.
Ashley, you didn't call my name. You didn't make me happy. Actually, I don't know. Also, yeah, quit pausing the video. Wah. Around here, God. I mean, yeah, I take hours to do things. Hours and hours and hours.
Company right now. You need to leave and we'll call you, when we're ready to meet up with you. And she said, oh, hell no. She said, I'm coming in. And as I tried to stand there and block her, even as much as pushing her to prevent her from coming into my house, she said, come on, girls. That's when I realized she had her daughters with her. Shiloh was behind them. They pushed their way in, didn't knock me down, but they just pushed me out of the way, came into the house, made a big production of coming up to Valerie going, are you okay? They were making a fake show of her being in danger. My wife has never been in danger from me, and she can testify to that on her own. This was all a ruse on their part, trying to cause.
A ruse. Is a ruse like a ruse? What is going on here? This is so fucked up. These are more senior citizens. Are these the same ones? Honestly, did they just switch seats? I know it's not, but seriously, what in the frick?
Trouble. They would very much like to get me out of the way so they can take advantage of Valerie financially. Even now, we're making truck payments for it because Valerie's a co-signer. So they came in the house as they pushed their way into the house. And then Shiloh told me the reason he's on this is he told me that he was going to kick my ass. And if anything ever further happened, he said he'd be back, threatening violence to me. And that's the sum of it.
Who wants to speak first, either Mr. Davis or Ms. French? I can't hear you. Can you say that again, please? Are they connected to? Can you hear me? Okay, so
That's a weird reaction. Usually people reach for the phone when they can't be heard. They both ran away from it. That was weird. Of course they can hear you, Judge. Also, shouldn't you check that at the beginning of a hearing instead of fucking halfway through? Could you imagine if they just didn't realize that their hearing was up and you'd already gone through all of that?
I'm going to have you log out and then log back in. When they ask you if you want to join using audio, make sure you use audio.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Perfect.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, Your Honor.
Who wants to speak first?
I can speak first.
Raise your right hand, please. You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Put your hand down. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, they had told us in the beginning that they didn't want us to come over, and actually me and my wife had agreed to that. And then my wife had spoken with her mother and sent her pictures of her injuries. And we in turn, because we have a very open dialogue with our children, she had shared with our children what, the injuries look like. And we're trying to explain to them this is the reason why grandma didn't want anyone to come over, because she was in pain. And then our kids saw how bad the injury was and reports to how she got injured. And they were the ones that were worried about their grandmother. So with them putting up a case, we caved. We said, okay, we'll go see your grandmother so you guys can see that she's okay. We got there. I didn't see the incident. All I heard was my wife scream, "Don't effing touch me." Then me and my middle child came around the corner into the house. He's leaving a huge portion out of his behavior at the time that my family was there. He was verbally abusive. And like I said, to my wife's response, my girls don't say, "Don't touch me," if they haven't been touched. I still didn't react. I came in, and he was in the process of yelling obscenities to my wife and both Valerie Hayes at the time, calling them very rude names in front of my daughters. My youngest daughter was standing in the entryway and she was crying. And he continued to verbally abuse both. He was mostly verbally abusing
My mom.
her mother. And then that's when my girls had escalated and didn't agree with how he was talking to her. And then they escalated. He continued to break things in front of my kids to scare my children. The whole time I was very under control. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't even swear, but I did say when he was starting to push his limits with how he was treating both my mother-in-law and my wife, I made it clear that I was starting to get irritated on his behavior in front of my kids. That's pretty much it. Other than that, our interactions are very, very limited. Me and my family see them maybe once or twice a year. In regards to them talking on the phone, I don't ever get involved with what her mother and her speak about because it involves, property, residents. And I feel, in my opinion, it should be the same for him because he has no claim to any of it. So he shouldn't have anything to say to Valerie about Ashley or her. I normally never put my 2 cents in. I kind of just leave it between them. But within the last couple months, things have kind of boiled over into where I just didn't accept how he was getting involved with the purchase of our home from her mother, and also like putting a wedge between Ashley and the grandchildren. Usually it's customary we see them. That's usually the only time we ever really see them is Thanksgiving and Christmas. So for my family, it was really unusual after her current injury that she didn't want to see her grandchildren. And a lot of the correspondence that happens between my children and Ashley actually go through the only mobile device that they have in the home, and it's his. He has sent numerous messages that misconstrued or twisted what their grandmother has said to my children. Not even to me, to my children. And still, I don't get involved. I don't say anything. But in this particular instance, because we were at the home, his behavior towards the women in the house, I have all girls as well, they were traumatized. And so that's when I made it very clear that his behavior towards my family was not acceptable. And that's pretty much it. But other than that, our contact is extremely limited.
I swear a lot. I actually began not starting the video right away at the beginning of my YouTube career because I got in trouble at the beginning for swearing within the first like 8 seconds of a video. Because oftentimes my first few sentences will include a swear word. And I can say a lot of sentences in fucking oops, like in 8 seconds. So I I I used to literally make sure that I would run the stream for a little bit first, which would count as the first 8 seconds, um, so that I wouldn't get in trouble. Because as much as I break rules or bend them, as I like to point out, I do like YouTube Daddy sending me money, especially since like you guys send it to him and all.
Hardly ever call them. They talk about financial responsibilities. My wife just had a major back surgery. Almost 50% of her spine got fused back in July. So she isn't supposed to be working, lifting heavy things. So
So she took up chewing gum. That's all she does. Hi, KT. Hope you're doing well. YouTube Daddy he's YouTube Daddy.
him with the statement saying that she shoved past him, she can't even live. She can barely, she's still going through a lot of things medically. And for her to respond and my daughter saying that she witnessed him shove her in the back, what kind of man does that to a woman who just had back surgery? You know, and
Hang on just a second. I'm going to stop you. Let me hear from Ms. French. Ms. French, could you raise your right hand, please? You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. What's your position on all of this?
Okay, well, I wrote out a little something just because this is very emotional for me. I'm very shocked to see my mother actually in this courtroom. But honestly, okay. Thank you, Your Honor. I just want to say this is a complete waste of your time. We are here to today because I filed a police report on Mark Nikolic for assaulting me the day after Christmas. On December 26th, Shiloh Davis and her family stopped by my mom's house to wish her a Merry Christmas. My mom had a horrible fall and her leg is in extremely bad shape and unable to drive. I also have been unable to drive. On July 3rd, I had a severe grand mal seizure that resulted in my spine bursting, and I had a very big spinal fusion done from my tailbone halfway up my back. I miss my mom very much, and since my mom can't drive to me, I wanted to see her. When we arrived, I wasn't sure if they were home because all the windows, like I didn't, so I had my family sit in the car that is around 15 feet from the front door. I started to walk up her ramp and I heard and saw her dogs barking through the front door. I never rang the doorbell and I never knocked on the door. And then Mark walked out of the living room and was walking to the front door. When I saw him, I turned around and walked to my family to come in. I turned around and Mark answered the door. He said, "You should have effing called first." I said, "We are here to wish my mom Merry Christmas." He turned around like he was going back to the living room, and I turned around and was holding the front door. Lillian and Emily were walking past me when Mark came up behind me and shoved me into the front door, and I yelled at him, "Don't effing touch me." Then he says, "Valerie, your stupid family is here." At this point, Shiloh was walking up to the house, and I told him Mark had just shoved me. And once we got into the house, I walked into the living room. My girls were already in the living room. My mom, like I said, she's been on a lot of medication. My mom's been on a lot of medication, okay? And when I saw her, she looked extremely over medicated. She didn't know what was going on. I was like, "Mom, we're here to wish you Merry Christmas." She was very dazed, confused. That's when Mark started screaming at her. And he was just trying to get us, like, and then he said, "I'm gonna call the cops." And I said, "Go ahead, let's call," like, and then at that point he broke something, he picked something up, slammed something on, and something broke. And then my husband went to go comfort our daughters because they were behind the couch crying. And at that point, I got my mom by her, like, listen, sir, I haven't been able to talk to my mom over the phone without it being on speakerphone for the last 8 years. Me and my mom used to have an amazing relationship. Me and the girls would be over there 3 times a week before this gentleman became into our lives. Shiloh's been in my life for, I've known Shiloh for 15 years. We've been together for 10. And for this man to say that he is an acquaintance, that is a lie. Straight up a lie. He is, anyways, I'm sorry. I don't mean to ramble on, but they're like, my daughter had on the speakerphone like a month ago with me, and my mom was in the bathroom talking to my daughter. My daughter can't even talk to my mom without being on speakerphone. My mom's hiding in the bathroom. She said, I'm okay to talk now. So I'm terrified that this man is doing something to her. Like, she has no.
Hang on, Ben, that's not the only thing I'm here today. He's asking for an order, right?
Okay.
I either say yes or no to the order he's asking. That's the only thing in front of me here today.
Okay. I do
And
have.
I think you've addressed that. I'm going to go back to him for a final word, and then so let me hear from, hang on just a second. Who I think is your mother has been a little demonstrative. Anything you wish to add, ma'am?
Yeah.
Could you raise your right hand, please? You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Okay. One of the things everybody's failing to add.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I think we'll get good faces out of them, but let me just zoom in on the mom here for 1 second. See if we can't get us a little bit of a view here. Oh, Jesus. Okay. She is tiny. You cannot tell me that is not a fucking Hyatt Regency conference room. So this is who they're talking about? She looks tiny. What are all those chairs for? Why are they placed like that? I have a lot of questions about that too. The gum chewing is giving me just saying to me, girl, don't chew gum in front of people that you care about. Don't chew it. That is exactly the message I'm getting from this. The entire message is, you look ugly chewing gum too, Piz. You do. You do. There we go. I did Control Z. Oh, Jonathan's right. They're for prospective jurors during voir dire. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Let's go. We only have a few more minutes, you guys, before we're done for the evening. I know you're like, what? But I promise. We have a big few days ahead of us. I found some new long form content for us to be doing, some divorces, some custody stuff, and some battles. So we have, another 15 minutes before we're done tonight-ish, depending on how much I talk. At this point, I'm talking a lot. Yeah.
Add to this is the main reason that we that Mark's filing this restraining order is when the two sheriffs came to our home that were sent to our home by Ashley, filing a assault charge against Mark. They were there at our house for almost an hour. They were the gentlemen that told us that they thought we should file a restraining order.
Okay.
It was not our idea to begin with.
Okay. So here's, Go
And
ahead.
that's the main reason that Mark decided to file the restraining order. Not because we hate my daughter, not because of anything, but that he had a fear of what was
I still
going
do.
on, and that this would escalate more into what was going on, not trying to get back.
We just want to be
people.
safe.
We just want things to be safe right now. And that both of these sheriffs, no one else, they had nothing to do with family garbage, family, whatever's been going on. They didn't fear for my life. They didn't fear for Ashley's life, but they did fear for what was possibly going to escalate behind what was going on, that they could see behind not only Ashley filing the assault charge, but also what was going on in the household.
Right.
And so I
Sure.
just want to testify. I did hear things that were said in the house when this happened. And no, he didn't say this stupid family or whatever. That wasn't
All right.
said, Ashley. Come on.
So here,
But he did talk to her about.
Lisa B, I gotta tell you the truth. Nana does she does line dancing, not square dancing. And she is freaking, it's hilarious. She does some dances. It's very funny. I've tried to get her to record a couple dances for me. She's not interested. Hi, Philip Heels. Hope you're doing well. Um, Marie L. Pardon me. Popcorn. Yes, that is going to be my snack for this evening. If I'm feeling a little bit like spoiling myself, how am I gonna cover it with something delicious? Sugar? Can I make caramel? I guess I could make caramel, right? From just sugar. Oh, do you need butter for that? I don't have any butter. Hmm. I wish I had a cow. I really do. You know, if you had a cow, you always have butter. You always, oh, I live in the city though. And Nana's away in Mexico for months. So,
You know, this was a point of anger at this point. Nobody likes to have someone just push their way into a house, whether it's your house or someone else's house. This was not a good night.
no.
And it was a lot of hyper things, but no one wants something to become worse and worse. And yeah, it is a fear to have someone push their way into your house, and heaven forbid, nobody wants it to escalate any further
Right.
than that. And
So-
that's what this is about.
Here's where I'm at with this, ma'am and sir. I'm going to read you the definition of unlawful harassment. Harassment is an unlawful, a knowing and willful course of conduct directed at a specific person that seriously alarms, harasses, or is detrimental to such person and serves no legitimate lawful purpose. A course of conduct, and this is going to be important with regard to my ruling, is a pattern of conduct composed of a series of acts over a period of time, however short, evidencing continuity of purpose. You know, you said something that I resonated with me, and you said this was not a good night. Clearly, it was not. But in order to get an anti-harassment order, you need to show a pattern of a series of actions over a period of time. So like if he keeps coming the next day, this happened, if he comes in the next day, and the next day after that.
marshmallow popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to make that tonight. And that's going to be delicious. Chocolate with your popcorn. I like that. Mexico. Yeah, she goes for like 3 to 6 months every year, MB. She doesn't like winters in Canada where I live. And here's the thing is that normally I'm always like laughing. I'm like, Nana, it's not that bad. But right now, I do believe it is still snowing. Pardon me. Yeah, it's still snowing and forecasted to snow all night. So, um, that's she's sort of won today. She won today.
And that would rise to the level of
It's
harassment.
escalating over 8 years.
Right.
This
And
isn't
so, and
just,
I can't enter an order
The pee-pee? Oh my goodness. Chris Engelby, thank you so much. You're so sweet. I so appreciate you. I need a pee-pee sound. Think about that as dirty as you like, and let's figure out what a good pee-pee sound would be.
Until, something
Could I ask one
actually
question, Your Honor?
does happen. Yes, you can, but you're going to wait till I'm done.
Okay.
And so I'm not sure what the dynamics are between you and your daughter or you and your stepdaughter or anything like that. I'm going to talk to them in a minute too about going that they need to respect your boundaries. If you don't want them to come over, it's not appropriate for you to go over if they don't want you to come over for whatever reason, even if it's a bad reason. Go ahead. You wanted to say something. I'll hear from you.
I just wanted to ask one thing. Short of being able to get this harassment, how do we protect ourselves against them when they come to the house and just push their
Well,
way in?
if this continues and again, if they, you can make a police report if you think that they've done something criminal in that particular incident, if they've, pushed you
We
in or
will.
entered your house unlawfully or something like that, and then apparently you did speak.
We don't want them to come.
We don't want to call.
Yeah, we just don't want them to come over.
Okay, well, I think at this point they know that. And
I
so,
hope
Ms.,
so.
and I'm going to go to them and say,
Okay,
clearly you understand about how your mother and stepfather
Yeah,
feel at the
fair enough.
moment.
yeah, thank you.
And if, right now, I think I probably telegraphed that I'm going to deny the order. But if this keeps up, if you keep showing up there where they don't want you, then we'll come back
we
and then
don't.
we will look at an order. Do you
Thank
understand that, Ms.?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. French and Mr. Davis, and that's unfortunate. It's never great when family relationships fall out. But that's where we're at here right now. So I'm not prepared to enter an order today. But like I say, if this sort of thing keeps up and I don't know what, then they can come back and we will talk about a court order. Does that make
Thank you.
sense?
Well, I have one question too.
And so your mother, and you seem upset by this, Ms. French, which I understand.
Why would both of the sheriffs, who were very, very nice when
Yeah.
they came, even recommend?
That's an excellent question that I don't answer. But I will say that I will see this though, ma'am. A lot of times in situations, they recommend going to the court. And then when the time they get here, when it comes to me, I'll make a finding that it doesn't rise to the level
I
of
understand.
harassment. I mean, yeah. And they're well-intentioned and well-meaning.
Yeah.
And they probably decide, well, we're not going to pursue
Yeah.
a crime here, but you
I
could,
get your
you
point,
could
Your
try
Honor.
this.
Thank you.
And I will tell you that if a pattern develops,
Yes,
then
And
you
we
come
will.
back and we'll take,
Thank
then
you.
an order would be appropriate, I
thank you,
think.
Your Honor.
Does that make sense?
Yes, because we don't want them there at all. So if anything
Okay.
happens, we'll go
So-
from there. Stay on.
And so hang on just a
Hang
second
on.
there, ma'am, you can stay seated, please.
He hasn't released just yet.
And,
Oh dear, that's sad. I think that's real emotion. That's very sad. She's an ugly crier, though. At least she knows that, and she puts her hands in her head in her hands. If you're an ugly crier, the least you can do is hide your face.
and again, I just want you to see how upsetting apparently this is to your
Oh,
daughter.
yeah, we've been through this. with
Okay,
her
so you,
before.
you can stop. I'm just talking to you. And I don't know whether you can develop a relationship or preserve the relationship or not, but that's kind of where we're at here right now.
Okay,
That's it for today.
thank you, Your Honor.
Copies of this will get emailed to folks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir. I still don't understand why this man wasn't pressed charges against for
Okay,
assault.
so ma'am, again, I don't have an answer for you there. The only thing that's in front of me here today, and don't leave until everyone's done, everybody, is they asking for an order against you and Mr. Davis. I'm not giving them that order right now.
Right.
Explanations for, why they weren't prosecuted or whether they found there was, I can't speak to that.
How can I find out? Just call Thurston County.
If well, you can talk to the short answer is, I don't know. You can talk to whatever law enforcement agency responded. You can talk to, I don't know what prosecutor's office this is, whether it's the municipality or the county, but the only thing in front of me here today is whether or not an order is appropriate. I'm finding it's not. And so that's kind of the end of it here for today.
Thank you. You have a wonderful.
Okay, and you're free to leave the Zoom call. You're free to go.
Okay, thank you.
What in the fuck just happened there? That was nuts. That was absolutely crazy. Can you imagine? Let's have an F in the chat for the judge. F in the chat for the judge that day. He had to listen to the parties, the people we watched last night or earlier today on Credence and Mikey. Um, he had to listen to the parties all day. Then he had to listen to the other lady with her fucking weird neighbor problems. Then he had to listen to this. I mean, it must be disheartening. I mean, we have to listen to it too, or we don't have to. We choose to. So I guess we're a little weird. But I think being able to talk about it and sort of vent about it in the moment is a beautiful thing that the judge doesn't get the chance to do. He barely gets the chance to say, "Hey, you fucking weirdos, what are you talking about?" Um, anyways, like I teased earlier, we tomorrow will be starting a new longer form series that will probably take us a little while. Um, depending, I have to do a little bit of homework tonight just for you, cellulite yoga pants, to ensure that there is indeed an ending. I don't want to fucking, I don't want to put it together if there's no ending without knowing that first. Um, Thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I love hanging out with you. Oh yeah, Jim Miner is having surgery tomorrow. Thoughts and prayers to Jim. The weather is still a little bit crazy places. It's snowing where I am. I mean, I'm not asking for prayers, but I am asking for recipe ideas. Somebody said a caramel condensed milk in a can. Damn, I should have condensed milk. Anyways, listen, I love you guys so much. I'm proud of you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Thanks again, everybody. I will post some recipe links later. Love y'all. Bye.